So what is up, guys? Let's get into today's market review and whatnot. So basically, today, June 23rd of let's start with yes. Okay. So basically, today was actually a really good day because I followed all my rules. There isn't nothing I couldn't control the outcomes, but I didn't take L. I took two break-even trades today, so which is not bad because uh, the market wasn't easy today. It was kind of while I was starting to do the pre-markets analysis and everything. I felt it to be a bit difficult, but once I had that pre-market analysis figured out, and I'm just waiting for that to happen. So at that time, the micro decisions weren't that much, so I didn't feel overwhelmed or lost in the charts. So that's a really good thing about pre-market analysis. So coming on to today, the main high time frame PDRs we had at the all-time highs, which is far away. I don't think that's gonna do any part in today's trading because the move lower was during the London and Asian session was really nice. So I didn't expect price to like just crazy go to the all-time highs today. And we also have a monthly fair value gap. Let me show you the high time frame in this. Okay, so basically we have this monthly fair value gap, which looks like a strong PDR, right? We have this weekly rejection low. Okay, on daily, we were disrespecting this daily fair value gap rejection low, so which told us the next probable drawn liquidity would be this low. So which is an 4 hour low, we could say. So we had this 4 hour fair value gap as well. So it was pretty easy if we see like this, yeah. But at the start, it was kind of overwhelming. So let me show you this no news today. Extremely bearish. I just put this as bullish. Price was extremely bearish during the London as well as Asian session. Let me show you that as well. So here you see, to be honest, I don't like this move. In 1 hour and 4 hour, it looks strong, but the 15 minute and 5 minute, this move look like it's some AI crypto rug pull coin type shit. I didn't really want to forget this leg, and I had one scenario based on this leg being a resting liquidity as well, but the higher time frame said it was really good, so I don't want to think of it like that. Okay, so let's move on to what our pre-market scenarios for NQ and ES were. So simple. We had attempted the both that sides while we were pre-market. We had this 1 hour for value gap and this 1 hour fair value gap. So just forget this because there's a new 4 hour fair value gap here. So basically it's nothing that I want to like focus much about. We had this 1 hour fair value gap, 1 hour fair value gap, 4 hour fair value gap here, and similarly we had this 1 hour was actually a 4 hour fair value gap. Okay, so this 4 hour fair value gap, another 4 hour fair value gap in ES as well. So price could come up there, sweep the London highs, and we could push lower. This was my scenario one. And the scenario two, this is that low probability case where we just keep breaking lower and just keep moving lower. If price doesn't want to retrace and it just wants to move lower, we could see that happen. But this would have not been the best scenario that I had planned. But if that happens, I need something to react off. So that's why I had this scenario. And the third scenario is we were like rejecting of a daily lows probably. So we had this daily low that we are already swept here in this in yes, but in NQ we weren't even close to that. So that was an SMT in itself. So my third scenario was we've maintained this SMT, we disrespect all these fair value gaps, and we move towards the all-time highs. So three simple pre-market scenarios. Okay. So what happened for price at the first? We swept the London lows on both of them. Okay, let me show you the charts here. So in uh in in let me go to yes. Okay, so basically what we had right here is the open sweeping the London lows. This kind of said to me 50-50, like that we are gonna go potentially higher. Okay, but I didn't have any valid setups here because I didn't want to trade while we had this SMT and other stuff. And also when this fair value gap gets disrespected, like we see that was already higher than above the London highs. So I don't want to take a low probability trade from here because the 4 hour fair value gap was close, and we also had other things going on. Maybe I could have taken trade like this. I mean, long like this towards the 4 hour fair value gap, that might have worked. But I think we had an 1 hour fair value gap here. Okay, so this is what invalidates that trade because I can't be looking for longs inside a 1 hour fair value gap. So that's the main thing. Okay, so this was not the entry. Okay, this was the move that I expected into the 4 hour fair value gap, which was pretty much very nice, and I loved it for the best part. So we had the same in US and Nasdaq as well. So what I noticed was I wanted to see a reversal of this 4 hour fair value gap. Okay, so what exactly happened was when both were moving higher, when NQ exactly took this London high, that's when the real reversal kind of started. We were moving higher till that. Okay, so when we took that, I want what I had at that point opposing my short was this 15-minute fair value gap. So I wanted to see that 15-minute fair value gap get disrespected. So I waited. I waited for the first candle. The first candle closed inside the 15-minute fair value gap. So the possibilities are we could have a two candle rejection from this 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, if that happens, I want to keep waiting. But what happened was the rejection low inside the 15-minute fair value gap got disrespected. Okay, once this 15-minute fair value gap rejection low gets disrespected, and we have this candle right here. This is probably this is where I entered. This was my entry. This was my SL, and this was my take profit. Somewhere like this, around 1 to 1.5 ish, or so. That was pretty much the trade. And what happened was price gave two very bearish candles. At this point, I didn't want to see price move higher. Even if it wants to move higher, I wanted to see reversal of this 15-minute fair value gap. And we were also into this rejection block. I don't trade rejection blocks, so that's not the real idea. But after this move lower, I just expect it to keep falling lower because we don't have any resistance right here. So I moved SL to break even, and I got break even here. Okay, that was the trade. Then right now price look like it's going towards my TP. That doesn't matter because I'm already out of the trade. So this is the case is ES and NQ. I didn't enter in ES because NQ was more weaker at this point because we had only 150-minute fair value gap here, but ES had like 315-minute fair value gaps. So the best pair for me to enter was the one with the least resistance, least support at this area, and that was US 100. So I entered on it. So basically, this was my execution. Okay, at this point, okay, definitely. So let's move on to the EU and EUSD and GBP USD trade. Okay, so it was kind of like pretty straightforward, almost similar to what we had in ES, but I'll show you guys. Okay, my trading is working, but that's fine. I'll go to UGO journal and okay, let's move higher. Let's see. What I had mainly was this 4 hour file gap that price was rejecting lower from, and we had a 4 hour close, 1 hour close below this monthly lows. This probably is not even enough because monthly lows, daily lows are a big lows, with very high time frame PDRS, and this low simply doesn't mean anything. But on the lower time frame perspective, this is what was there. And what GBP was doing was it didn't take the monthly lows yet. It was creating this channel Probably these two legs are probably the legs, like the liquidity legs. We had some really nice resting liquidity above this as well. Okay, this channel would mean various things. So I'll show you guys. So this is no news again, and we had some resting liquidity higher, and we took almost a lot of drawn liquidity for the sell side, but the momentum is there. So we could see the momentum continue and take. We could take some more lows as well. So that was there in the back of my mind. So the pre-market scenarios was we had this 15-minute rejection high or this swing high in 15 minutes, and this was like 1 hour rejection high at that point. This high was not confirmed because the 1 hour candle was still running. So if I see that 1 hour rejection, 1 hour fair value gap get disrespected, and the fair value gaps higher get disrupted, I could look for longs because we have that nice SMT on the bottom which is supporting this scenario. Okay, that was my scenario one. The scenario two was we could see price go higher, sweep this 1 minute hour rejection high, or we could see get into this fair value gap and reject lower. We could basically make use of any PDRA above this resting liquidity to short lower, keep going lower. Okay, this was my second idea. Okay, similarly sweep and move lower. Okay, this was my second idea. Okay, the third idea, always the less probability idea is that we out of nowhere we just keep moving lower, we just keep pushing lower, no liquidity sweep, nothing. Okay, that was the third idea. So what idea actually happened was, uh let me show you. We had EU, we had 1 hour fair value gap, we had this we had this, how to say, liquidity right here. We swept this into 1 hour fair value gap. In 15 minutes we basically don't have anything that much to say, to be honest. But in GBP USD, we didn't have any 1 hour fair value gaps. Okay, it was kind of consolidating right here. So what I wanted to see at the start was a break below this consolidation, which I got right here in this 10-15 candle broke below this consolidation, which meant that I could short lower. Okay. At the same point of time, the 10-15 candle also gave a nice signal right here. Okay. At this point, both look stronger. But what I did was I wasn't prepared probably. Okay. So I had this. So I didn't enter right here. I was waiting for an entry on EU at the first. Okay. Because we were moving lower than monthly low. So higher time frame EU was more weaker. So I was looking for a limit entry at the EU. But what actually happened was price was showing some more momentum in GU. So I wanted to switch to GU and I wanted to look for a short in GU, a continuation short in GU. Okay. So I basically got my entry like this. Okay, like this basic somewhere around here at this candle breakdown. I should probably have entered this candle because this candle was the early sign of breakout and this was the first confirmation. The more early we are, the more likely our trade is going to hit easily. Okay, so we weren't early on this trade. We were entering right here. I had my SL above this 15-minute candle and I was targeting this lows. Okay, something like this. So basically this kind of was my idea. So what happened was after I entered price mode, I made a new higher like this. Okay, while the similar thing happened in EU, but we had two 15-minute fair value gaps holding the price in EU. But in GU, we closed all the 15-minute fair value gaps. We only had one 15-minute fair value gap above my SL. So this gave me an idea that there is possibility that we were wicking the bottom so much in these first two candles. Okay, so it gave some opposite narrative that we could potentially move to this 15-minute fair value gap as well. Okay, so that's why I trailed my SL to TP to break even, so because I wanted to get out of this trade as soon as possible. So I took the break even in this trade, which I don't regret. But what happened actually was the price split to the whole thing, and our tip would have been hit. But that's not the problem. So this was my idea, and this was the trade entry, and this was my reason for break even. So basically, I journaled everything. Intermediate term lows were the drawn liquidity, breakout of the previous weekly rejection lows in EU, and in GU we broke out of this consolidation before NY open. Okay, we swept the liquidity before the NY open at the NY open, and we closed below, which is a nice narrative. So our entry probably at this point was actually a better entry like this. Okay, 1 to 1.5 would have hit. Okay, this was the better entry, but I wasted some time. So I missed it. I missed that entry, but I got another entry, but I wasn't quite satisfied with that one. And there was a chance that price could retrace into 15 minutes, so I didn't want to take that risk because I'm almost like only 0.5% of blowing that account. So I closed it break even, and then only I got into that EU trade. See, I'm on that ES trade, so that's why I closed it because I had that trade. So I didn't want to spend my time with this one, so I closed it. So and actually, price then went to hit my TP, which I am, which I'm not regretting, but I'm happy that the idea worked out. In a situation like this where the price action was complicated, my trade still played out, so which is fine, and I'm happy for it. That followed all my rules today. I probably missed an entry here. I took a late entry here, but that's fine. I guess I could do some work on it and make sure I don't repeat that mistake again. And here, this is 10:15, right? Okay, this is 10:15, and this is 10:15. Yeah, actually, we had our entry here. This would have been the better entry. But at that 10:15, EU was more stronger. And what actually happened was EU didn't make a move after that. It's just consolidating here because we took the context as well. So it makes sense for you to just stay like that. Okay, that's the market recap for today. And these are the two break-ins that I took.